Today I'm going to be taking a topic which is super interesting, and I feel this is not just a topic that you can learn in one single hour, but then I am going to be making this session a power-packed session so that as much as information I can share as well as the practicals in this 1 hour, I'll try to make it fruitful, and I am definitely sure that you will enjoy the entire session. Let me quickly start sharing my screen and start today's session. I feel this is not just another topic in cybersecurity, but then this is something which is super important for everyone in cybersecurity should know. Linux for cybersecurity and pen testing is the topic of the day. I am assuming that my participants are not only from the advanced or the beginner background. I'm going to be taking this topic starting from very basics, and I have covered some advanced topic as well while planning this session. So I hope you enjoy this. So I'm going to be starting with my basic introduction. My name is Shifa Cyclewala. I am into cybersecurity from more than 5 years now. I started my journey as a mobile application developer, and then I switched to web application secure coding, and finally I do web application pen testing. What makes me fit to teach this topic is that I come from a background of a developer, and I very well know that how much coding is important and how much of the automation that you can achieve with a small coding skills, which is going to save a lot of your efforts. The agenda and motive behind designing this session is that I want you all to automate at least the daily stuff with the help of any one of the scripting language. You may pick up any, but then the focus of today's session is on bash scripting, which comes as a native scripting language with Linux. You don't have to do any installation. It comes pre-packed along with Linux. I would say it's a mother tongue of Linux, which we are going to learn in today's session. So I hope you are ready to take this session and the next slides. In today's class, we are going to be learning about what Linux is, why it is important, what are the features of Linux. At least I want you all to remember top 20 Linux commands so that your life will become super handy and you will be very comfortable using Linux. Going forward, you can start adding 2 commands a day in your memory. So it will be very much helpful for you in a longer run in cybersecurity. Next comes the Linux permission, which is a super important concept. And then we are going to be learning about some bash scripting, which will help you in your penetration testing and cybersecurity journey. I am also going to be discussing about the tools in Linux, which comes pre-installed for cybersecurity professionals. And finally, I'm going to conclude this session. Moving on. So what is Linux? Linux is an amazing open source operating system. Now, what is open source? We have operating systems such as Windows, which is a commercial operating system. That means we need to pay to use that. Linux isn't like that. It's an open source operating system. That means we can use it for free, as well as we can modify Linux according to our needs. Linux is very well known for its stability, security, and versatility. It is so versatile so that you all can use it anytime, anywhere you want. Moving on, why Linux is so popular? Because it is in open source nature. That means we can configure, modify it according to our needs. It is super customizable. It comes with a lot of security features. Now, what are these security and why I have mentioned this over here is that I think what you type is what you get in Linux. Windows, when you're downloading any tools or any software, so there are some malwares that comes along with downloading the software without you knowing what is happening in the background. But in Linux, whatever you type, you're going to get the same thing. There's no software or nothing that comes attached with it. So it makes Linux much more popular as well as secure. It is low cost, obviously, because you don't need to pay for it. We can easily write scripting and make automation programs very quickly with the help of Linux. So what are the features of Linux? It has the capacity to handle multi-user. That means you can create as much as users you want in your Linux system. Multitasking, that means you can operate more than one program at the same time, more than one application at the same time. Its file structure is super unique, and I feel that you can access the shell as well of Linux. So you can have the privileges to make yourself a root and change any system level configurations as well when you are working on Linux. And finally, it is super secure, as we have already discussed in the previous slide. So what are top 20 commands for Linux? I'm not going to show you this on slide. Let's quickly go open the Linux terminal and perform at least 20 commands. Here is my Linux machine. I am currently on Mac, so I have something called as Parallels Desktop. If you're on Windows, you may download Linux, Kali Linux in your virtual box or VMware. I have installed the Linux in my Parallels desktop, so I'll quickly jump onto my Parallels. I am not showing you guys how to install it. It is super easy to install Linux. Once you are installed, you will have a UI something similar to what I have currently. You may have certain things down here, but in my visual UI, I have things right here in the activity. From here, you can take a new terminal. After taking a new terminal, let's learn the first command. So the first command and the command which I love the most is ls. I also want you guys to make notes of these commands so that it is very handy for you whenever you are referring to this. So when you type ls on your terminal, it is going to list down everything for you. Currently, I am in a root folder. We don't call folders in Linux. We always say directory in Linux. So currently I am into my root directory because I cannot see any path here. I am also going to show you how to confirm that in a while. But for now, just believe me that I am currently in the root or the main folder. If I do ls, I would be able to see all the files and folders that I have created so far on my root directory. So ls is the first command that you all can quickly remember. Now let's learn to create directories. So to create directories, we have a command which is very simple, mkdir. Mkdir stands for make directory. And then I'm going to make a directory called as learn, and I am going to hit enter. One thing about Linux is very cool that if you don't get any error, that means the previous command that you execute, that you have written, got executed successfully. Now, how do I confirm that learn directory is been created? Obviously, I'll do ls and check whether the learn directory is been created or no. So you may quickly go here and see that yes, learn directory is now created. Now, if you want to go inside this learn directory. So here comes the next command, which is cd. Cd means I want to change my directory. If I am changing my directory, so I also need to specify that what directory I need to go into. So I need to go into my learn directory now. Let me hit enter. Now can you see that I came inside a directory called as learn. If I do ls here, will I be able to see anything? No, because I do not have any files and folders inside this particular directory.